Ladies and gentlemen, we're back with another one, and I want to talk about something kind of interesting. Today I'm on the internet and I'm checking out Evolving Skies prices, and I ended up clicking on a link by an accident that said Evolving Skies expensive, or like Evolving Skies so expensive. So everyone at home wants you to go on your computer, type in Evolving Skies so expensive, and scroll down from the first thing to the second article on Google. And the description for Evolving Skies I find absolutely hilarious. It talks about Evolving Skies being short printed, which, you know, it almost feels like Ponzi ish, but not really. Of like every new batch of people that comes into Pokemon, it's like they got to sell them on the, oh, it's short printed, you know. Like, because I remember when I first got in the hobby, it was like team up, and you search it up and be like, set was short printed. And now that I look at it, it's like, now it says Evolving Skies, a very short printed set. And I promise you, I was around in the hobby when Evolving Skies was out. It was anything but short printed. I mean, literally, there was so much of it that you would walk past ETBs for $40 like they were nothing. I mean, I remember leaving so many on Walmart shelves. Costco used to have ETBs, like they had like pallets of these at every Costco. I mean, they were literally everywhere. And I mean, not even to talk about the random other products like these that still had like Evolving Skies in them. I mean, it was anything but short printed. I mean, everything on Sword and Shield was massively printed. And I think the listing should say that Evolving Skies massively ripped open. Because it just shows, like, where's all the Pokemon product going? You know? It's being ripped. And I think we all underestimate the real power of it being ripped. Um, and how fast it's just depleting. That it doesn't matter how much Pokemon prints, it's just the rip factor, dude. You know, Eh, I mean, geez, let's look back at every single set. I mean, but let's start with Team Up. It was $2,000 a box, and now you see every YouTuber. Like, there's this one YouTuber that chases the Latios, and he literally rips like Team Up packs on the daily. And just that one guy is ripping through thousands of Team Up packs. That, I'm not saying one guy can just influence the market, but I mean, we're seeing Team Up now $8,000. It hit $8,000 per booster box, which is just insane to me. Absolutely insane. And basically the same thing's happening with Evolving Skies, of like them saying it's short printed, and I don't think any Pokemon set is really short printed. I mean, any modern set is really short printed. I mean, it's like, yeah, some sets are printed less than others, you know. Um, like if you go back to vintage, I think Skyridge was super short printed. I think, like basically where they maybe got one print run, but like Evolving Skies had like two print runs, if not three print runs, if I'm not mistaken. I think even three, maybe even four. But like, because we got a bunch of, like, we had two print runs for sure, like wave one and wave two. My booster boxes are wave one. Like these are wave one for me. But like, they were not short printed, because you were able to literally buy those booster boxes at $100, $125 all day. So, and any Sword and Shield stuff. I mean, Fusion Strike, Chilling Reign, Lost Origin. I mean, Pokemon Center had Lost Origin booster boxes forever on their website, and they even had Evolving Skies for a while. I mean, just, but what's going on is it's being ripped through. You know, um, that it doesn't matter. you know, that so many people still rip Pokemon, which surprises me, because it's super not worth it, and it's just like stupid, degenerate gambling, um, for idiots that don't know statistics and numbers. I mean, honestly, like, I'm sorry, guys, if you rip Pokemon, like, you're dumb, especially if you watch my videos and you still rip Pokemon. If you do it for fun, whatever, but, like, if you're doing it to make a profit, and, like, you're strictly like, I am doing this for the best chance to make money, you are so stupid. Because, like, literally, slot machines have better odds. Um, Many things have better odds than Pokemon for ripping. For easy investments, not so much. There aren't really many good investments out there in this world. Trust me, I've looked. Because people have that argument too of like, well, don't you have anything better to invest in, like the stock market? No, the stock market is not going from $100 to $2,000 in 3 years for anything. And then to continue go up even more as it gets more expensive. But my point is, breaking down what is short printed and what short printed even means. In my opinion, is like if it's short printed, it was printed once and very limited, and then they just moved on. Pokemon hasn't done that with any set. Every set has been printed at least twice. So the whole argument of short printed makes you wonder, even back in the team up days, was it really short printed? I mean, now we feel the strain of team up being short printed because there's none around unless you want to spend big money. But, like that's just my point of it feels like we're getting hustled when it comes to when they say short printed, but we're really not, because it's short existing. Is it only exists at reasonable prices for a short time, and then that dries up. Now, next thing I want to talk about is Paldea Evolved, Mr. P. I think Paldea for booster boxes still have a while to run. With this Magikarp thing going on, I don't think the Magikarp's going to last at these prices. I think it's going to eventually plummet. But I still think the desire for Paldea booster boxes, if you're getting in at the 300s, you're probably going to do all right. Even though, like, I hate to admit it, but, like, I doubted it on this channel not too long ago, where I was like, I don't know about Paldea. But honestly, it panned out to be a good investment for people. And, yeah, I mean, just like any box, you hold on to it long enough, it's probably going to be, $600 or $700. I think Paldea will probably hit fives at least. Same with Twilight Pokemon Center ETB sealed cases. I think if you can get those for like the 500s, you're gonna do good. Because like Twilight Masquerade, Pokemon Center ETBs do look really sick. But all these I don't think are bad. But my main point of this video is to show that like Evolving Skies is falling down the same path as Team Up. And in some ways, it's almost a better set than Team Up anyway. It's not as rare, but you're seeing where it's falling in the same cycle. Every time you check it, it just goes up and becomes more expensive. And Evolving Skies is where Team Up was when I got in the hobby. It's $2,000 now, on its way up, and Team Up was $2,000, and now it's $8,000. So if you give Evolving Skies another year or two, you're definitely going to see it in the $4,000 or $5,000. I really don't doubt that. To be patient, wait it out, and just play the long game. Grab some good ETBs of Evolving and just wait. Next, but yeah, like just the whole short printed thing just really blows my mind that they can say that for a set like Evolving Skies. It's just a lot of it is being ripped. And sometimes I really wish I knew the numbers, like the real numbers, but you can feel it in the market that it's just being ripped to shreds. This brings me to my next point, is I was trying to work out a trade for a team up booster box. Let me know what you guys rather do. Would you rather have a team up booster box or a sealed case of Fusion Strike and a booster box of Evolving Skies? That's a trade I'm trying to negotiate and work out. Me personally, I think the case of team up, but the more I think about it, I'm like, man, I really don't want to ever get rid of my case of Fusion Strike, but I might have to. It might have to go. But so this is what blows my mind. I had someone offer me, because originally when I got into seal collecting, it was for the money. I'm not gonna lie, I'll be totally honest. I mean, I think that's why almost anyone gets into fucking seal collecting. You're not getting in it for, just to play with your balls. You're in it to hopefully make money. I would hope. I originally got into it for that, and now that I look at it now, I had someone tell me, like this person I'm working a team up deal with, they were like, well, hey, I'll buy your Fusion Strike booster box case for $5,000. And I mean, I bought this for $1,000. So for me, I'm making literally $4,000 right now that I could cash out on. Easiest gains in the world. Literally, the easiest fucking gains you could ever ask for on something so stupid. And it's just like, and I said to them, I don't really want to sell it. Like I would value it at $5,000 for you because I want to use it as trade bait to get a team up booster box because I've always wanted one. And God, team up is such a beautiful box. And I just don't really want to piss around, and not get one. And they're like $20,000, and then it's just, I know I'll never buy one then. But, so I was thinking about doing that, and, they're like, so you don't want the cash? And it's like, no, I really don't. And I've said this before in some of my other videos. I prefer sealed Pokemon over cash. At this point, I don't really prefer cash, because it's just pointless. I mean, I have a lot of cash, but like, it's more like any sealed Pokemon I have now, I don't really want to get rid of, for cash. And that's just kind of where things are, even though, the profit's incredible. It's just, I don't see anything better to use with my cash. And I know if I just sit on this stuff for the next five years, and just be patient, yeah, this will probably be just a $500,000-$600,000 collection. If I just sit on it for the next 5 to 10 years and don't really make any trades, don't really make any, deals, don't take in any singles, just I'm keeping my sealed, and I'm not selling any of it, and, just wait things out. And, I've realized that, like, yeah, I genuinely prefer sealed over actual money, which is just crazy to me because it never started that way, of where I love my boxes. I don't want to get rid of them, for any amount of money, really. And it makes you wonder if I'm going to feel like that in like a couple years from now, like, oh, should I just get rid of this stuff that's been sitting around for a while? Let's get some cash, and I don't know, maybe use it for fun or something else. But I don't know. I just don't think that's going to change, especially as prices just continue to rise. So, yeah, it just blows my mind, though, that I would prefer boxes over cash now, because there were a lot of times where I preferred cash over boxes, and that's what's fucked up, is I preferred cash over boxes when I should have preferred boxes over cash 3 years ago. Like, I should have threw all of my cash into Pokemon, but instead I kind of kept with the only throw 5% of your cash into Pokemon, rule. I should have threw probably 50 or 60% of the cash into Pokemon, and I still would have been all right and paid all my bills and not really had any problems. But now I'm more into Pokemon than I am having cash, but now I have a lot of cash, but no Pokemon. Well, I mean, not Pokemon, but I don't have as much Pokemon as I would like. And I really don't want to spend the money that it's going for now because it's fucking ridiculous. But yeah, so that's where things are. Where I'm not really like buying much. I'm not really selling much. I mean, I'm still buying here and there. I was looking at buying a Bubble Mew and PSA 10 for $850. That was so tempting. I really think I should just buy that card right now while it's still nice. But yeah, like so, there's a couple things I have my eye on. Twilight Masquerade booster boxes in specific. I plan on hopefully grabbing a couple more of those. But you know, like it's just wild because when you're in the hobby for so long, you start to prefer the boxes over actual cash because it really is just like, well, what am I going to do better with the cash? Nothing. Use it for some trips, use it for, a car I want, or something like that, or use it for house bills. Sure. But, like, with Fusion Strike, it's like I would rather have a case that's $5,000 now and I'm locked in and, I can wait till it's $10,000 than to have $5,000 in cash that's just going to do absolutely nothing but be worth less. Because once you sell something like Fusion Strike, you're never going to buy it back. Because if you sell it for $5,000 and it goes to $7,000 or $8,000, you're never going to buy it back. Simple as that. You're never going to buy it back because you're going to say, I sold it for $5,000. I'm not going to pay $8,000 for it. Same thing with Ancient Origins. When I sold Ancient Origins, it's $5,000 now. I'm not going to buy it back for that. I don't care if I know it's going to go to 10. I'm not going to buy it because I sold it for a lot less. And, that's why you really ask yourself, if you're going to be alive on this planet for the next 5 years, you should probably keep all of your sealed Pokemon. Like, if you don't need the money and you're going to be alive for the next couple of years, you might as well fucking continue to hold your shit, until you have some major bill or something that takes your money away, then, yeah, then that's when you start to sell and worry a little bit more. But other than that, if you don't need the money, you might as well just continue to hold because look at the pattern. It's always just gotten worse over time for every single fucking set. Every single set. I mean, I think there's going to be one day where you hold on to Battle Styles long enough and it will be $1,000. That you'll hold on to it for so long that, it will be very difficult to come by. You hold on to Evolving Skies long enough, it'll be good, big to come by. And it blows my mind that Battle Styles is $200 because it does kind of throw the theory out there that just time makes something valuable. Because that's kind of far from the truth. But because like we're looking at Twilight, and honestly, the Greninja and the Tyranitar are both like roughly 300-ish raw. I mean, I could be wrong on my numbers exactly. I haven't checked both of them in a minute, but they're fairly in the same price, and like Twilight's looked at as a pretty goated set. I mean, granted, you got the Eevee. I guess you got the Urshifu kind of with Battle Styles, but Battle Styles is $200 right now, and Twilight is $250, and that just blows my mind that Scarlet and Violet era boxes are passing Battle Styles, which shows there's this massive stigma against Battle Styles. And I'll be honest, if I was going to open up any product at these crazy prices, it would probably be Champion's Path or Battle Styles. To be totally honest, it would be one of those two sets, because that's pretty much your best odds. I mean, I wouldn't open up any of it because I've already done that a shitload. But that's just where things are. Even like right now, age, it matters tremendously, but for the Scarlet and Violet Sword and Shield era, it's like kind of like diluted, where it's just like if it's a really good set, people agree it's a good set, it goes up, and if people really hate it, it goes up slower. But I still think you'll wait out Battle Styles long enough, and it will be just like any mega hated set like Unbroken Bonds. It's $2,000. Could you ever imagine? I mean, I know a couple years ago, No one could ever have imagined this set on Broken Bonds to be $2,000. I mean, it was literally considered a poo-poo dog water set. And, now it is. This is a box that everyone hoped to unload on someone. And now you're looking at it be $2,000 and very fucking desirable and pretty difficult to find. And, I think that will help with battle styles eventually. It's just waiting it out, waiting the long run out for it to become old and appreciated. And that gets me to my next point is if you put $40,000 to $50,000, $60,000 into Pokemon sealed and buy them at the market prices or whatever they are now, and if you wait 10 years, you might be a millionaire, because just everything would skyrocket by then, you would think, and be tremendously more expensive. I mean, like I said, even battle styles, like when you're having all of your investments skyrocket around you, it's going to make you do really well. And that's why I'm kind of in the stage of, well, I'm not really buying anything or selling anything, but I'm trading here and there. If I think something's going to go up a little faster, I'll still get in it, but, and I still listen to interesting trades and kind of make decisions. Someone had to pick, let me know what you guys put in the comments section. Someone had to pick a Giratina in PSA 9 or a Twilight Masquerade case and of Pokemon Center ETBs. And I was like, man, I'd pick the PC ETBs all day. But I don't know, but the Tina could go up a lot too. So both aren't bad investments, but I just think the Twilight PC cases would go up faster, but that's just my opinion. But, the whole market's wild right now, but I still think if you just wait things out, and at least own as much as you can really afford without like making your life hell, you should buy it, and just kind of wait. So that's just where I'm at with things. A lot of stuff was discussed here. We went through a lot of topics, and hopefully that kind of like opens your guys' mind when you see something short printed. You kind of know like, and you should maybe question it. Was it really short printed? And I just find the whole thing goofy. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this one, and we're out.